In this video, you'll learn how to create a cover image for Facebook. Before we get started, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description below that will take you to our tutorial page on Corel's Discovery Center. Here you'll find a written copy of this tutorial along with a sample design file, so you can try the steps yourself. The current dimensions for a Facebook cover image are 820 by 360 pixels. It's important that you upload an image that's exactly that size, otherwise Facebook will resize the image for you, which can lead to a loss of resolution. So here I've created an 820 by 360 pixel document, and I've added these colored boundaries on the outside to show you what will be our safe area for both desktop and mobile display. The desktop display will be a little bit wider, so you can see there's a bit cut off the top and bottom, and the mobile display will be a bit narrower, but also a bit taller, so it's cutting some off on the sides. So the first thing we'll go over is how to set up your document to meet these specifications, and then how to use guidelines to make sure that your design is within that safe zone. So first we'll come up to File, New, we'll name our document, then we'll open up our presets and choose Web, which will automatically set us in the proper color mode and at the appropriate DPI. Then all we have to do is enter our dimensions for a Facebook cover photo and hit OK. Now the easiest way to add guidelines, since we know exactly where they need to go, is going to be to come up to Window, Inspectors, and open up the Guidelines Inspector. So you can see we're already set to add horizontal guidelines, and we can specify exactly where on the Y-axis we want that guideline to appear. So since we know Facebook cuts off 24 pixels from the top and bottom for desktop view, we'll input 24 pixels and then click Add. And you can see that our guideline has appeared right where we need it. Then since we know our height is 360, we'll enter 360 minus 24, and if we just hit return, CorelDRAW will actually do the math for us to get 336, and we'll add another guideline there. Now we'll switch to vertical to set our guidelines for mobile view, and we know that Facebook will crop 90 pixels from each side, so we'll add one guideline at 90 pixels, and then one more at 820 minus 90, which comes to 730. And now your document's all set up so that you can make sure you're designing within the safe zone for both desktop and mobile views. Next, we're going to create a rectangle that's the exact size of our document, and we'll see why in a second. So holding Shift, we'll come over and double click on the rectangle tool, and then I'll just add a color just so we can see that that rectangle is actually there. Now we'll import a photo that we want to use as our background for our cover image. So I'll come up to File, go down to Place, I'll choose the file that I want to bring in, click Place, and then just click anywhere in the document to drop the photo. So as you can see, this photo is a little bit too big and doesn't exactly match the dimensions we need for a Facebook cover photo. So rather than taking the time to open that photo in a separate document and crop it to our dimensions, we'll use CorelDRAW's Power Clip function. To do that, just right-click on the photo, choose Power Clip Inside, and when your cursor changes to that little curved arrow, just go ahead and click on that rectangle that we created. And as you can see, any part of our photo that's outside that rectangle is now cropped. Of course, it's not exactly in the right spot, so we'll come up to Edit our Power Clip, and then drag the photo to wherever we want it to sit, again being aware of our safe zone. Once we're done with that, we'll come up and click Finish, and now let's import our logo. This time I'll just hit Command-I, which is a shortcut for place. I'll find my logo, and considering our background photo is kind of dark, I'm actually going to choose a white version of this logo. So we'll place that in the document and go ahead and align it so that it looks nice within our safe zone. That looks pretty good, so the last thing we have to do is export our document for Facebook. So come up to File, Export to, and choose Web. Then under File Format, we'll choose JPEG. Both JPEG and PNG work well with Facebook, but JPEG is a little better for mixed tones like we have in our photograph. And all of these settings are ready to go for web output. So we'll click Save As, choose where to save our photo, and that's it. You now have a perfectly sized Facebook cover photo. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description below that will take you to our tutorial page on Corel's Discovery Center. Here you'll find a written copy of this tutorial along with a sample design file, so you can try the steps yourself.